most people need to be led into a decision because they have so much decision fatigue, and just the request to think, should I do this or not, is enough to create paralysis of analysis and say there's too many options, I don't know. And by default, if someone is given a choice, the choice is always not now. I need more time to think about it. That is the default reaction to every confused mind. I have options. The moment I have options, I need to think about this. This is stressing me out. They go into beta brainwave state. A beta brainwave state is confusion, so they take a step back. So there's two ways to solve that. One is to remove all the options, right? In one way, shape, or form. And what I mean by that is literally don't give them two payment options, give them one payment option. Like you remove any option to move forward. Two, you remove options by also adding social proof and endorsements, because then the mind says, well, if it worked for all these people, might as well work for me. So like that's another thing. Another thing that removes options is the offer or the price point, right? If in their mind, the price so undervalues the offer, then it's like, oh, this is no brainer for me. It's not I don't know how Jay's doing this. He's losing money on this guy, but I don't care because I'm just going to buy it, right? But if the tables are turned and they feel like, oh, Jay wins, I don't, I have to think about this, right? So that's the presentation of value, so they can juxtapose the value with the benefit or the outcome or the result. That eliminates a choice, hence less confused, able to make another moving forward decision. So our jobs, and I know this is a little bit of an off tangent in connection to the idea of testimonials and endorsements, is to remove choice and to remove stress in that choice. That's where the risk reversal guarantee comes in. That's where, hey, well, there's a performance attachment. That's where, Tim, when you say, hey, just join, I'll give you the first 4 weeks for free, test it out, and then you could decide. That removes the sympathetic, that removes the beta brain waves of like, oh my God, I'm frozen. I don't know what to do. What if it doesn't work? What if it does? Blah, blah, blah. You know, you take them to a parasympathetic state, the brainwave changes from beta to alpha. Alpha is a more calming. I'm like, oh, I feel like I can make a healthy, less stressed decision by eliminating all the cofactors around that. And then in doing so, then all decisions are removed, all risks are removed, all confusion is removed, all analysis is removed, and then the ability to take a step forward just makes sense. And so we need to be considering in everything that we do, again, the use of, again, this is based on the beginning point of using testimonials and endorsements, of course, but beyond that, that is what we are in the art of doing when it comes to marketing. It's you eliminate every factor that creates a potential no. You put the individual in a place where they can calmly and without stress and without cognitive bias and without dissonance say yes, because it only makes sense to. And then you have them come on board and move through the process that way, right? That is ultimately what marketing is. And we try to optimize every element of the marketing process, starting with the ad, to the communication and the messaging, to the landing page and what's included on there, in the fast track video, in the follow-up sequences, and all that. Our job as a quote unquote marketer is to optimize every element of that to make the buying decision that much more simple. Because here's the last point. Buyer's remorse is a real thing. And the more stress somebody has saying yes, the more difficult of a client they will be once they are onboarded, because they're coming into the arrangement with buyer's remorse. And now, instead of looking forward to what is to come, they're looking for any reason for this not to work, to confirmation bias their buyer's remorse. So if we can put people in the right state where it seems like they're getting the better end of the bargain and you're getting the short end of the stick, then when they come into it, they're coming in with a completely different energy, idea, concept, mindset. so that they're eager to make it work. Because they're essentially like, wow, Jay's really losing out on me. I hope he doesn't catch up on this because then he'll dump me. Instead of, wow, Jay just took all my money. I don't know what's next. I don't know what kind of results to expect. Like, what's going to happen here. So that's a subtle shift as well. But when the person comes in with the right mindset, they end up being a great long-term client. When someone comes in with regrets and all that, because, and here's why that happens. When marketing is based on manipulation, that's what you get. When marketing is based on on influence to allow someone to come to the decision that this is the best thing for me, and they internally came up with that decision on their own rather than you telling them that this is the right decision, which is why in our discovery process on our sales calls, we're asking questions, we're taking assessments, and we usually end, the first part of the sales conversation to say, and what would you like to do now? Or what would you like to do next? Where you're not saying, hey, your next step is to do blank. You say, what would you like to do next? Visa, MasterCard, PayPal, Bitcoin. Which of those options work best for you, right?